wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I just looked. I cannot believe this. I glanced down. I brought up the Star Tribune on my laptop. Mm-hmm. The first thing I see is, how many times has this headline appeared in this newspaper? You ready?
Yep. Let's have it.
Minneapolis Lake Street Kmart is gone. Here's what could come next. They've published that story about 20 times now.
I don't even think they retype the article. They just wait long
just
enough.
Put
hey,
it in there.
People are starting to ask about that Kmart again. Put that article back out. Put that article back out.
At one point, they just like, what are the notable businesses on Lake Street? Just replace the title. Just swap it out. We'll just have them ready to go, so that when they eventually have to move out, we're gonna fire the headline and boom.
Yeah. Exactly right.
We talked to Chris like 2 months ago, and he was, it's about to get demolished, and they're finally moving forward.
Yeah, wait.
And it's still standing.
Was that
Yep.
Was that Kmart or was that Sears?
No, that was Kmart.
It was Kmart.
Yeah.
It was Kmart, yeah. Because they're never going to tear that Sears building down. That's never going to happen. That thing's a beauty. It's a beautiful. My mother used to work in that building.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she worked I don't know, some department for Sears. I don't know what the hell it is. My favorite Sears story now is, and I already told you about this, going out on that little boat tour we went on with the kids, and it was a lot of fun and all the rest of it. But I did some research on the guy who owned this one specific boat. He bought it from I can never remember that guy's name. He's on Deal or No Deal. It's what's the one where they've been. Yeah. Oh God, I can't remember the name of the show. It's
not Howie Mandel.
No, the guy that owns the Spurs.
Oh, Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban.
Mavericks
is Mark Cuban. Yeah.
What did I say?
You said Spurs, but is he the guy?
I said the Spurs. Yes, the Mavericks.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, Mark Cuban.
Shark Tank. That's what it's called. There you go. So he sold his boat for $300 million to the CEO of Sears, and you're thinking, how did the CEO of Sears get any money? Because Sears is broke and out of business. How the hell has that happened that the CEO has $300 million to buy a boat? Jeez, when is this going to stop?
Because is his name Edward Lampert?
That might be right.
CEO. Yeah, it looks like he's at something called Transformaco and ESL as well.
Transformaco,
and ESL. So,
what the hell is Transformco?
Oh, that's why. He's involved in a privately held hedge fund based in...
There you go. Touchdown.
So Sears was just a little side hustle he had going.
Another thing, I know we got to get going here in a couple of minutes and we can talk a little sports, but I love tuning in the news because I don't give a shit about the news anymore. I have my life. I love my wife, our children, our grandchildren. I love my friends. I'm having a great time on this job and, working with the family, all the rest of it. But I don't care what the news says anymore. It used to piss me off. Now I just don't care at all because this is what I saw this morning on Fox. Well, they're going to go after Biden, and it's about time they went after him, and it's going to be unbelievable, and they better back down on Trump because if they don't back down on Trump, they're going to really go after Biden. And then you tune to the other channel, and it's like, it doesn't look like they're going to go after Trump at all, and if they don't go after Trump, I'm serious. This could be the end of America. It's like, could you people on both channels puke a little more? It's just everything's a disaster, and it's both sides, Fox and CNN. It's coming to an end. Shut up. And you know what I really hate when they do this? And it's the guy, the blonde guy or the gray-haired guy on Fox who does it. He goes like this. What's his name? The older guy.
Yeah. No idea.
I'll look up Fox Acres here.
I don't even know his name, and we don't need to know his name, but he always does this. I've got to bring this up because it could become a huge problem. We better keep an eye on those people. And then he goes like this. We better keep an eye on those people. It's like, why are you mugging the camera when you just said the world's coming to an end and you're mugging at the camera?
The world's always coming to an end.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
one
it
of my
is.
earliest memories as a child was Y2K, and how like I thought the world was just going to end when the clock struck
Sure.
midnight to go to the year 2000.
Absolutely.
last I-
Oh, yeah.
last I
Y2K.
We're still slogging along.
Yeah, Y2K was a huge deal to people. And I went, what do you think's going to happen? Well, what if all the everything just shuts down? I said, I'm kind of confident they had backup systems, so I wouldn't worry too much. Nothing happened yet again.
No, I held my breath for nothing.
It's true. AJ, what do you got?
They have they have a list of like 100 people with, and they don't have pictures, so I'd have to like click into each individual one. So I don't have a name for you yet.
All right. Well, Tevin, this is out. It's got to go.
Mm-hmm.
I gave a guy a job and he just didn't do it.
Oh, AJ, I saw the list that you got pulled up. There is. It just says A through Z, and then you got to click through each one.
Here you go. Actually, I'm from their 6 to 9 Fox and Friends show. Here's the guys that are on there. Let me know if any of these ring a bell. Steve Ducey, Brian Kilmeade, or Lawrence Jones. Those are the 3 guys on the show.
I think Stephen Ducey is the guy. He's the older honky, I think.
Okay.
Don't they only have honkies on Fox News?
No, hell no. The morning guy's a black guy. He's a very young black man in America today, as a matter of fact.
Good for him.
You know, what I really wish they would do more of, if they could get some commercials on the air that include, like say people in mixed races.
Yep.
Mixed marriage. They should get more of that up. It's like, why don't you shove everything down our throats like you always do? Do you think I give a rat's ass who you're married to? Good for you. I'm happy for you.
No, I don't really care who is in your commercial. I just want to know what the product is that you're selling.
Right.
It's definitely also got to be Steve Ducey.
Oh, that's 100%.
Yeah, you said like blonde and gray hair. He's got glasses on usually. Yeah.
And the first picture that comes up when you type in Steve Ducey is the face, Tom, that you made. Yeah, it's that face.
What the hell are you so happy about? People are dying and you're laughing it up. Okay, pal, good for you. But, I'm really happy that I've gotten to the point now when I do tune into the news, it's like a comedy show for me. Because these people do nothing but kiss ass on their own side and condemn the piss out of the other side. That's all they do. So I'll make up my own mind. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll make up my mind to go to break right now so we can talk some sports. I did not even pay attention to the baseball scores yesterday because the last score I saw, they were getting the piss kicked out of them about 5-0 or something like that. I don't know what it was, but has that team won a game yet?
Yeah, remember when they beat those college kids?
Yeah, that's right. They beat the college kids. I forgot. They did. They beat the University of Minnesota.
Some guys that are stuck in still this week or whatever.
Yeah, like, hey, you're 32, and the guys you beat today are all about 17. How does that feel?
Yeah, the Twins went to the bars afterwards, and then the Gophers had to go study for their chem exam.
They went to the food hall to get,
There it is. We shall take a break. Be right back with a little sports coming up right after this. Phil will be with us. If you enjoyed Minnesota's non-winter this year, you want to enjoy the warmth whenever you want. 2 Minnesotans can help you live that dream. Matt Carlson, Realty One Group Destination, Key West. Grew up in Litchfield, Minnesota. Started out helping his friends find homes locally and in Florida, and now can help you. If you've considered living in the warmth of Florida, now is the time to reach out to your new friend in Realty, Matt Carlson. It's a buyer's market now, and your Minnesotan friend Matt can help you with a new home here or in the Florida Keys. And if you need some guidance with financing, Kristen Eklund from Coast to Coast Mortgage can help. Kristen is Matt's preferred lender, which is a good thing. You can finance anywhere in Florida, and like Matt is one of us. And she hails from the Sartell, Alexandria area. So if you're looking at a new home in Minnesota, maybe you want a second home or maybe a retirement place in Florida, Key West is wonderful. All of Florida is wonderful. Trust your new local friends and contact Matt and Kristen. Visit onekeywestrealty.com. That's onekeywestrealty.com or call Matt, 612-791-2345, 612-791-2345, and work with local professionals that you can trust.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so we made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
I will. I promise I will hurry. There's no question about it. You know what I mean? I'm making that face right now. You just can't see it. Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support, and I want to thank you, too. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale. It's going on right now, as a matter of fact, for the best prices ever. All you have to do is use promo code TOM, and you make Uncle Tommy happy, too. You get free shipping on your entire order, as a matter of fact. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA. They're on sale for as low as $99.99. That's correct. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have made the same technology. They got the same technology as the bath towels, actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and a whole lot more. To get the best specials ever, go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
With Phil Mackey.
Yes.
What's happening? Oh, you know what? I didn't want to do this, but it was already mentioned this morning. The deal about Mattison, the Vikings plan to release Mattison after his mediocre 2020.
Good.
Phil, I may as well tell you, you're gone after the 2023 season.
After my mediocre 2023 season.
Yeah, that's
it.
exactly right.
A cap casualty, as they say in the NFL.
Yes, It's a casualty. I love that.
It's pretty rare in sports where the idiots on couches like us are right about something so point blank. When they signed, and Alexander Mattison was a fine backup for a while, but when they signed him to be the starting running back, because he was a free agent and they signed him back last year, I think most people looked around and were like, I don't know about that one. And then about 3 weeks into the season, you're like, he's dropping passes, fumbling, 3 yards a carry. So I guess score one for the couch potatoes watching football. We saw that one coming from a while away.
I have a question for all three of you. Do you think his parents, Alexander Mattison's parents, actually knew that the real Alexander Mattison's name was spelled with a D, not a T?
Well, his last name, his parents didn't choose his last name spelling, right?
I don't care, but you can't go with Alexander Mattison. That's like naming your kid Tom Barnard and B-E-R. No, you're out of the mix.
I think I'm going to do that, actually. My wife and I, when we're going to first name Barnard, B-E-R-R.
Bernard.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful idea. There's no question. See, Catherine and I had a really easy time with that whole deal because we named our son Andy after Andy Fisher, my best friend of all time. We named Andy after. It was so sweet, too, because when they found out that Andy Fisher was dying about a year ago, Andy called me and he said, Dad, I don't really want to go, but should I go see Andy Fisher because, I'm named after. I said, no, it's too much. Seriously, you don't want to go see Andy Fisher because he was like the hero of the family kind of guy. And then, Catherine's name is Catherine Alexandra Brandt, so we went with Andy and Alex. Huh?
Okay.
That worked out pretty well.
Where did Tom come from?
It came from the fact that I was 23 inches tall and weighed 11 pounds, and they thought I was twins. They literally thought I was two people in the womb because I was so big. But
that's either two people or a 39-year-old coming out right now. I'm not sure.
Exactly.
Smoking a pack of cigarettes.
I got a story for you though. The great part of that is I have a friend named Mark Marrows, who is about 6'4" or something like that. Probably weighs about 225, 230. He's a big fella. When he was born, he weighed 13 pounds 2 ounces and was over 2 feet tall. Jesus, that's a big baby.
That's where that's where they deliver the baby and put you right up in like a boxing showdown, like the way
Exactly.
It's like Mike Tyson and a
kid
and a
cut his
toddler.
own umbilical cord.
We saw the biggest because we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, about a couple of months ago, I guess it was, baby weight and all that stuff. And we actually did look it up. There was a baby that was born at 28 pounds, and I think it lived for about 15 minutes. 28-pound baby. Can you imagine giving birth? And apparently it was a natural birth. They didn't slice her open. I mean, she can bear down is all I got to say.
Boy, I wouldn't have to deal with the aftermath there, huh? That's quite the crime scene.
28 crime scene. That's real.
28 pounds?
I know.
You don't just walk away from that. No,
I don't think you don't just do some yoga and recover from that.
What happened to mom? She didn't have a baby. Oh no, the baby, and that's she didn't have the baby. Well, why is she in a wheelchair then?
Yeah,
that's
aggressive.
Big kid. That is a big kid. There's no question about it. So I had not paid any attention. I did see the Mattison deal that they're going to release him. I did not pay any attention to the Twins yesterday because I still have not seen them win a game.
I also did not pay attention to the Twins. So high five to us. I don't pay attention to spring training baseball until March. Yeah. So today I do. I guess a couple days ago, Byron Buxton did play his first game in center field for the Twins in like 500 some odd days, and so he did, and his leg didn't fall off. So
it's very good.
Step one, Buxton's out there.
Good news.
And they did make a trade. I can't remember if we talked about this or not earlier in the week, but they did bring in a good backup for Byron Buxton. So they've got some Buxton insurance and Manuel Margot.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to alleviate your angst from what you've seen in the first week of spring training games, but.
Okay. Why don't we check my angst? Does anybody know what the score was yesterday? Because I do not.
No idea.
No idea what the score was yesterday.
All right, let's look it up here.
And I know it's spring training. I understand that. But have they won a game yet? I think they won one so far.
Let's see here. So
yesterday,
they played
final with the Atlanta Braves, 5-0 in favor of the Braves.
Jeez. Okay, I'm hanging up.
Wait a second. Hold on. They
here we go.
They tied against the Phillies a couple days ago.
So they didn't win though. That's the whole key.
But they didn't lose.
Yeah, that is true. Play the light happy music.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, light happy music. Let's get that going, baby. To this day people go, every time I hear that music now I think of you and the damn 87 Twins. I'm like, you got it, baby. There it is.
Yeah, I think if they win their next spring training game, I feel like the next show has to just be an hour and a half of light, happy music to celebrate.
I agree. There's no question about it. There's absolutely no question about it. You know how much ridicule I took in 1987 at the day before the season started? I said, I got a feeling, and I know you're going to think I'm nuts, but I got a feeling this team is going to win the World Series. That was the day before the season started. I got ridiculed for pretty much the whole season because they didn't have that great a record, if you remember.
Did you stick to it the whole year, even during some of the darker times? Okay.
Yes, I did, because I was youthful and stupid.
Yeah. And what's amazing is that's 1987, and 91 was then they followed up, right? Yes. No Minnesota sports team. The Lynx gave us a dynasty, but in terms of the four men's teams that are the original teams around here, nothing since 1991. Nothing.
Oh, God. How is that even possible?
Think about how the world has evolved since the last time the Twins won a championship.
Right.
I mean, it was literally like the first George Bush was president the last time the Twins won a championship. The last time any Minnesota sports team won a championship.
For AJ and Tevin, you guys got to understand something. When the Twins won the World Series in '87, the stadium was still lit up with candles. So what does that tell you?
They kept SKOR on a stone tablet. Just
exactly right.
They had the horse and buggy valet outside gate F.
Fred Flintstone was the manager.
Yep.
Going back a little bit.
Yabba-dabba-doo.
God,
Let's get some
Flintstone.
runs.
And it doesn't feel like we're getting any closer to any type of championship. I mean, the Vikings seem to have a mess that just gets messier every day. Like, is Kirk Cousins, like it sounds now like Atlanta's doing a full court press to get him back, and then is JJ really going to want to stay if we don't know who our quarterback's going to be? Which, I mean, we can franchise tag him and things like that. But, Phil, do you have any insight as far as what's going on over there at TCO?
The Atlanta thing's interesting. So the Falcons, we started talking about the Falcons probably on Purple Daily in October or November when Kirk tears his Achilles, and we're kind of looking at who might, if the Vikings don't bring him back. Kirk's wife's family is from Atlanta. They got married in Atlanta.
Oh.
The Falcons have more cap space to spend money on free agents than the Vikings do. And there's a prominent TV reporter, one of the sports directors, I think at the ABC affiliate in Atlanta. He's been there for 16 years. He's plugged in. And he went on one of the local radio shows yesterday and said, oh, it is behind the scenes. The owner, Arthur Blank, has told his front office, spend whatever you need to get Kirk Cousins in a Falcons uniform.
Really?
Yeah.
That works for me, actually. Good.
You're done with Kirk after 6 years?
I've never seen... He shows no emotion, which is... I like those guys that get pissed off and start dropping F-bombs in the huddle. Those are my kind of guys.
The F-bomb thing, I'm with you on that, man. Kirk, I think Kirk's only dropped one documented F-bomb in 6 years with the Vikings.
Is that right?
I need a better F-bomb ratio from my starting quarterback.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And Phil, I was hearing that when the new league year starts on March 13th, that there's some sort of dead cap hit with Kirk's contract that hits. So essentially we'll know in 2 weeks whether or not he's coming back for sure. Correct?
Yeah. So the way this works for people that aren't following, minute by minute, like the nerds like me and Tevin and AJ. So the NFL free agency signing window opens on March 13th. So anyone can go sign anywhere on March 13th. Right. It's a free agent. The day before that, if the Vikings haven't re-signed Kirk Cousins before he hits the open market, then they have to account for a $28.5 million accounting charge on their books for this upcoming year, even if he's on a different team. So it'll be an interesting 2 weeks here to figure out what happens with Kirk Cousins. And then, of course, the draft is in 2 months. So, I mean, the Vikings could literally have a completely different starting quarterback, a completely different room. We'll see what happens with Justin Jefferson. But a lot of fans kind of check out after the season's over. This is actually the most fun time of the year in March because players are going all over the place. The Vikings might get a new quarterback, so we'll see what happens.
Do you have any idea who it would be if we did get a new quarterback? Is there anybody kind of out front to the crowd?
Actually, so this morning, the college quarterbacks are all going through their interviews at the NFL Combine. They bring all these young players in. It's a cattle prodding.
I know exactly what's going with this, and I love it.
Michigan just won the national championship, their first national championship in 25 years, 1997.
Really? Jesus.
And J.J. McCarthy was the 20-year-old quarterback that helped guide them to a championship. Now, Michigan ran the ball a lot, and it wasn't like McCarthy threw for 5,000 yards, but J.J. McCarthy just got up at the podium in Indianapolis like an hour ago, and he said, I met with the Vikings yesterday, and Kevin O'Connell was amazing. He led the meeting. We went over film together, and he basically said, I would love to be in a room with Kevin O'Connell to start my career. So keep an eye on J.J. McCarthy if the Vikings draft a quarterback.
Do you like it?
I do, actually. I think a lot of people are looking at some of the other quarterbacks that are maybe a little higher up than him and looking at their numbers and productivity and saying, well, J.J. McCarthy didn't put up the touchdowns, the yardage, and everything else. But they didn't really ask him to. They ran the ball down everyone's throat because they could, and J.J. McCarthy was kind of seasoning. So you're kind of projecting that he could do more than that in the NFL. But there's also like 3 or 4 other guys that you could probably live with if the Vikings decided to draft a quarterback. It's a big time quarterback draft here, Tom. I know you're going to put out your annual mock draft at some point, I'm sure.
Right, no question about it. We're going to get that done. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to draft Tommy Kramer because he's still one of my favorite people I've ever met.
We should do an all-time Vikings draft.
We should.
Who would be the number one? Would it be Fran Tarkenton?
Probably
the number one all-time Vikings draft pick.
Probably true, yeah. Fran's a damn good guy, too. Did you ever get to work with or talk to Fran at all?
Just not like in depth, but I've met him a few times. Yeah, legend.
Great guy. And my favorite part of that whole deal is I was a 9-year-old boy going to Size Menswear on West Broadway, just east of Lyndale Avenue. And there's this guy named Fran Tarkenton that's signing autographs. I'm like, who the hell is Fran Tarkenton? Yeah. I met Fran Tarkenton, shook hands with him when I was 9 years old, man.
Isn't that fun when you meet? And that's before you get jaded and you realize that most of the athletes you meet are assholes. You know, it's like when you're a 9-year-old. You know, I remember when I was 9, I met Kirby Puckett when I was 9 at Twins Fest.
There you go.
And we literally waited in line like 2.5 hours. My dad and me just in a line of other 8-year-olds. It's just to meet him for 30 seconds, and it's great.
Well, that's what happened with me and AJ. I was in line, I think 7-8 hours waiting to meet him.
But do you guys
that's only because the door was locked and we couldn't find it.
He just locked the door.
There's no line to meet me.
Do you guys remember the days when the Vikings would travel and play basketball games in like high school arenas all over the place?
Yes.
I was probably about 9-10 years old, and the Vikings came to my high school, and like Matt Burke and everybody were running around playing basketball in the offseason. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, they'd never do that today. But yeah, memories like that stick with you forever.
Yeah, they did that with my elementary school. I remember Steve Jordan just throwing down a monster dunk in like 1992.
I could see that. My favorite thing in that, when they used to do that, and I can't remember who said it, but they were going to play a game at Delano High School in Delano, Minnesota. And the theme of the appearance was, "What does Della know?"
Wow. Someone needs to rein in Delano, right?
They really do.
Delano's drunk again. Come on.
What does Della know?
Delano, by the way, one of the all-time great town baseball fields with the ivy. They've got the ivy all around the perimeter of the fences. It's great.
You know, they got a little fountain thing. Those water pads or whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah.
With all the fountains shooting up, and they got the big circle, and there's one of those right next to that stadium you're talking about. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's great. I used to, my first gig in radio was for KRWC 1360 out in Buffalo, Minnesota. And I used to call town ball baseball games all summer for 2 summers. 18, 19 years old. And I think it was a game it was at that Delano field. And it was Maple Lake's town ball team against Delano's town ball team. And I was charting pitches, doing play-by-play and like doing the box score and charting pitches and whatnot. The 2 starting pitchers each pitched a complete game. 17 innings.
Whoa.
One guy threw 191 pitches and the other guy threw 182 pitches. I remember it like it was yesterday.
It's like 6 games for a twin starter.
What a great story that is. That's a great story, man. You know, that's one thing about that kind of deal. You could go on. If you get involved in sports at all, as a very involved fan or reporting on it or doing whatever, there's a whole different world when you're that close to sports where they actually care what you say. Well, they only care if you say negative things, actually. If you say positive, they just accept it. But if it's negative, they don't like that at all. But
well, the best part about the story is I told it. So this would have been 2005 maybe. And I told it on our radio show with Judd like 6 or 7 years ago. So I don't know, call it 15 years later. And I'm telling it on the show and whatever. We go to break and we get a phone call during the break. And our producer says, you got to take this call when you come back. Jeff Jansen was the name of the pitcher for Delano. He was listening to the show as I was telling the story. He called in and he goes, I'm Jeff Jansen. I was the pitcher that you're talking about. Left-handed slot ball pitcher.
I love that.
It's great, man.
Well, that's how radio used to be. Back in the day, man, everybody listened to the radio back in the day.
Yeah.
And I kind of missed that, actually, to tell you the truth. The world has changed completely. There's no question about it. But such is life, ladies and gentlemen. All right, young man, we'll enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.
All right, Kirk Cousins' watch continues on Monday. I'll keep you guys posted.
Are you hoping they keep him? Are you?
I hope they move on.
I do too. I'm absolutely do.
Thanks for the yardage. Thanks for the one playoff win. Enjoy your money.
And he's not emotional enough for me. I like guys that get pissed off like Tommy Kramer.
Yep. In fact, you know what? This J.J. McCarthy, the first question I'm asking him in these meetings if I'm the coaching staff, hey, how many F-bombs per game? Over, under 6.5.
Love it. I love your take, man. Works for me.
All right, see you guys Monday.
All right, pal. Looking forward to it. We'll take a break. Be right back with another Hun Yuck. Chris Egert, join us right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. Yes, you do. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car, because you don't want me fixing your car, believe me. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert. I said my expert, and he should be yours too. We've been talking about this. You do need a financial guy. It was all over the news last week. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market, the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. And I'm one of those guys, if I tried to do my own investing, I would be a disaster. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard's a paid endorser.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Hey, it's a new year. Why not treat yourself to a new gun from K&L Surplus and Ammo? I personally know Jim, the owner, and I'm not making that up. He's a great guy. He's been, first of all, I don't do commercials for people I don't like. So there you go. But Jim's a great guy. He's been in the firearms business for over 15 years and knows how to set you up with the perfect firearm for your needs. K&L offers one of the widest selection of firearms in the region, including Beretta shotguns, Antica rifles. High school trap teams are starting to form now, and K&L has a great selection of SKB shotguns. K&L has Tika and SKB both in right and left-hand models. K&L also has a broad range of ammunition, including both American and European calibers. If you have a collection of guns that you'd like to sell, call Jim at K&L so he can help you get the best price through his network. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lino Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can also visit them online, www.klgunstore.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You're listening to Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by... Remember they used to do audio like that back in the day?
I do. I miss those days. I liked that.
When I first started doing voiceover for TV stations around America, they made me do that. Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation, 952-925-5608. And now, Chris Egert with your news.
Let's do something, Tom. Let's do your voice, and then I want you to introduce. Start with me so Tevin and AJ can learn how to do this. But okay. I'll look off on camera, and then when you say my name, remember when the old school news open?
Yep.
So
yeah.
I'll be looking off on camera like I'm intently doing something, and then I'll look up right when the name comes. So we'll get you guys can be part of a real old school news open.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Right, I like it.
You game, Tom?
I'm game. You ready? And now, Channel 5 Eyewitness News with sports by AJ, weather by Tevin, and your host and great reporter and news anchor, Chris Egert.
Beautiful.
I love
it.
it.
There we go.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
Do that over and over. You notice I took sports away from Tevin just to be a prick.
That's fine. I'll take the other.
I gotta say, I think I ruined that.
Yeah, AJ's pretty sports-minded, though.
Well, I came over smiling, and then he says Tevin, and Tevin goes like serious, mean mugging. So Kevin's gonna clip this, and I'm gonna look like a total goofball.
That's fine. Like if I did weather, it'd be like, what was it? We're like, it's gonna rain in
Ollie.
Yeah, there we go. That would be me, just yelling, "It's gonna rain!"
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain.
I love that so much. There's no question about it, ladies and gentlemen. I got to ask Mr. Egert about my favorite story today.
Yes, sir.
Because I just don't see how this could happen. There's a man who crossed the border illegally carrying fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine. You know how much fentanyl, cocaine, and methamphetamine he was carrying?
I'm going to go ahead and say it must be a pretty outrageous amount for it to become noteworthy for you.
Okay, let me put it this way. It's a very, very, very similar number. As a matter of fact, an identical number. My older brother, Terry, weighs 170 pounds. How do you get 170 pounds of drugs across the border?
Duffel bag.
Duffel bag. Yeah, there you go. 170 pounds of drugs he brought with him.
Is the guy like gigantic? Because I couldn't carry a freaking 170-pound bag.
I'm going to call my brother and hey, Terry, come on over so I can just carry you across the border just for the hell of it.
Wow.
It's pretty tough to miss 170 pounds of drugs, isn't it?
I mean, I would think so. I don't know what 170 pounds of drugs looks like, but I
don't either.
Was it in a? Yeah, it wasn't like the Cheech and Chong's truck that they made out of marijuana and drove.
That's right.
Was
That
it?
gave off a little smoke, by the way, as it going down
What
the
a
road.
great movie, by the way. I just want to shout out to Cheech and Chong, but not to minimize what you're talking about, Tom.
Remember what Cheech Marin said when they were driving around in that car? Oh, no, it wasn't Cheech Marin. As a matter of fact, it was the other guy, Tommy Chong.
Yeah, Tommy Chong.
Don't you remember what he said when he was driving that car?
It
Because there's
depends.
smoke coming out the back end.
I can quote a lot of that movie. I'm not sure which.
He goes like this. I started laughing so hard I thought I was going to die. They're driving along. Hey, man, you guys, what do you think of our deal here? It's going pretty. Hey, wait a second, man. The light is red. So they stop at the light, and a guy crosses the street, and Tommy Chong goes, oh, look, a colored guy. Like, what? Why would you even say that? And that was the only reference to it at all. There was no reason to even bring it up. Why would they put that in a movie?
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't even.
Isn't that bizarre?
That is. Yeah, that's weird.
So I just put honky on my show the next day to even the field.
Oh,
look, I'm working with honkies.
That's I don't remember that part. That's weird.
Oh, you could find. A matter of fact, if AJ looked for it, you'd find it right now. But there's really no reason to play it.
You know that oddly enough, I came across this on my playlist a couple years ago. There's a song where they at the end when they're in that contest and Cheech is dressed up in the tutu and. Your mama talking to me, try to tell me how to live. You know what I'm talking about?
Earache my eye.
Yes, earache my eye. That
My
song
eye.
is really good.
I love that song.
It's such a good song.
It's phenomenal. Great song.
That's like the best part of that movie. It all culminates to that moment. It's
people talking to me, trying to tell me how to live.
Chris, have you watched the movie recently?
Within like the last 5 or 6 years, yeah.
Okay, that's recent enough. Does it hold up? I haven't seen that movie probably.
No, a lot of it doesn't hold up, but the stuff that's like the dumb, the things that you remember are still funny. But yeah, a lot of it's pretty out of date, and
1987 or 88, I can't remember which one it was. Tommy Chong came into studio over at the Q.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Cheech and Chong fan. I just loved because he did this ridiculous. They did things like say what he said, and for just no reason, just to piss people off.
Yeah.
Right? So he sits down, and so I figured I'd warm because I was a huge fan. There's no question. And I look at Tommy Chong. He's sitting 5 feet from me, and I go, man, look who's in studio. Tommy Chong. I'm not worthy. And there's a long pause. He goes, no, man, you're worthy. Okay.
Come on, man. That's a pretty good Tommy Chong.
Yeah. Come on, man. You're worthy. Am I worthy? Thank you. All right, what's going on? I don't want to hear any negative news this morning.
Well, oddly enough, the story I brought today happens to do with THC, and
really?
I brought lots of stories, but so we did a story last night. One of our reporters, Ben Henry, did a story last night that a lot of the THC that you can buy now, because you can buy it at breweries and liquor stores and whatnot,
right?
That there's an issue with the amount of THC in the cans, because there's something about the cans and the plastic that they line, or there's some kind of coating that they put on the inside of the cans that apparently is like absorbing the THC. So you might be buying a can that has 2 servings and it's got like 10, what is it, milligrams? Is that what?
Milligrams.
So it's got 10 milligrams. You think of THC in it, but it's not, because like the can has absorbed some of it.
Right.
So some of them are experimenting, trying to add a little more to balance that out, which is also funny. Like, oh boy, put in 15. Let's see how it goes. Or they're trying to bottle them, put them in actual bottles, so that doesn't happen. But that interesting issue that we brought up last night on the news.
Yeah. Well, they've had issues with that. I know in energy drinks that have creatine in them, where like if it sits for a long time, like there's like some sort of leaching effect that goes in. So I assume it's kind of similar.
Yeah,
where
that makes sense.
A THC drink fresh off the truck, you're going to have more of a higher concentration than if it sits on the shelf for a few weeks.
I guess you got to look for a born on date.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
And speaking, I know you got to go, so let me close with this. My prediction is within the next few years, the number one sleep medication will be THC, because it not only helps you sleep, it actually puts you in a good mood while you're sleeping. You don't have anywhere near as many nightmares and things like that. I guarantee it's going to be the number one sleep medication out there.
Your guys, Cheech and Chong, actually pop up in my feed all the time with the Cheech and Chong sleep gummies.
There you go. It's going to happen.
Those things must just itch you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't tried them, but it's always, I guess I must be the demo, and I complain enough about being tired that it just pops up in my feeds. But yeah, you're probably not wrong, Tom. I mean, it's probably a lot better for you than 99% of the sleep medicines that people use.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. And I can really close with the fact that the mistake I made one time, because the only thing I don't understand is they make the gummies all the same size, whether it's 5 milligrams or 100 milligrams. They're the same size gummy, which could you make it a little bigger so we can figure it out?
Yeah, that's you make the wrong step there, and you're not moving for a week.
I literally took, it was somewhere between 50 and 100 milligrams. I thought I was taking like 20 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
Watched television. All of a sudden, Ricky Gervais turned into a dragon, and my legs wouldn't move. It's like, whoa, whoops. This was not a good choice. That was a long time ago, baby. That's all I have to say.
Gotta watch that dosing.
All right, go out and hit the pipe and have a good time this weekend.
You know me.
You know me. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, see you. Have a good weekend.
5's, oh yeah, you too, Pally. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. We will be right back. We shall be right back in just seconds. The lovely and talented Bob Sansevere is up next. March means it's springtime, and that means spring cleaning, and your carpets and air ducts are the first item on my list. Your carpet and ducts are your biggest air filters in your home, and you could be breathing in nasty dust, dander, and bacteria. Zero Res's platinum-rated cleaning systems and environmentally friendly ZR water to the rescue with these limited-time offers. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129 off $40 savings, $75 off air duct cleaning, and 20% off all upholstery cleaning. Zero Res has over 17,000 reviews with an average 4.9 star rating, so their gotta love it guarantee ensures your spring cleaning will leave your home looking and smelling how it should. Call 952-ZEROREZ or visit ZeroResMinnesota.com to schedule your spring cleaning offer today, and be sure to ask for the Tom Barnard special. Zero Res. Spell it forward or backward, it spells the same. Schedule your appointment today and beat the spring cleaning rush.
Hi, guys. It's Chris Egert from Channel 5 Morning News, along with my friends Megan Newquist and Ken Barlow. In the morning, we pride ourselves on sharing people's stories. I've been lucky enough to be part of this 5 Eyewitness News morning team for more than a decade now. This is where I've raised my kids and working alongside my friends for all these years. We're like a family too.
We are family, Chris. Working with you and Ken and Hannah, it is such an honor to help folks start their day every morning on Channel 5. We get to catch people up on the news that's happening, and Hannah is here to keep an eye on the traffic around town.
And when it comes to weather, I know people rely on me to plan their day and get their family out the door. Over the last 10 years, there are so many memories and so many laughs. I just love sharing the forecast alongside you guys.
I feel the same way, Ken. To all you who start your day with us here on Channel 5, we think of you as family too. Thanks for turning on 5 Eyewitness News in the mornings.
Have you enjoyed Minnesota's non-winter this year? Want to enjoy the warmth whenever you want? 2 Minnesotans can help you live that dream. Matt Carlson from Realty One Group Destination Key West grew up in Litchfield, Minnesota. Started out helping his friends find homes locally and in Florida, and now he can help you. If you've considered living in the warmth of Florida, now is the time to reach out to your new friend in Realty, Matt Carlson. It's a buyer's market now, and your Minnesotan friend Matt can help you with a new home here or in the Florida Keys. And if you need some guidance with financing, Kristen Eklund from Coast to Coast Mortgage can help. Kristen is Matt's preferred lender, can finance anywhere in Florida, and like Matt is one of us, as she hails from the Sartell, Alexandria area. So if you're looking at a new home in Minnesota, or maybe that second home or retirement place in Florida, trust your new local friends. Contact Matt and Kristen. Visit onekeywest.com. That's onekeywest.com, or call Matt at 612-791-2345, 612-791-2345, and work with local professionals you can trust.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Sansevere Sports is brought to you by Bielke Law Firm. Heard at work, Dave Bielke goes to work for you, taking care of your workers' comp injury claims and denials. Call 763-571-2410 or go to BIALKE law.com. Tell them Bob and Tom sent you. So, Sandy.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to know on that descriptor why your name comes before mine. I'm deeply hurt.
I would blame Tevin and AJ.
It's their fault?
Yeah, that makes
I think they're the ones. Don't they do all the writing for the show?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, no?
Yeah, a lot of writing on this show, you can tell, can't you?
Well, I heard they got there like 2 a.m. to just put the show together to start writing.
Sure.
Yeah, no, we scrap a lot of stuff. It's a lot of long hours, just writing constantly, sharpening pencils.
Yeah, there's a 2 in the time for sure. I don't know about 2 a.m., but there's a 2 in there.
Yeah.
I do remember getting up at 3:15 every morning and going in and doing show prep for an hour for about the first 25 years of the Hugh Morning Show. And then I realized I'm not doing that anymore. Forget it.
Wing it.
Wing it, baby. We just winged it.
It was better. It was more, it wasn't as rehearsed.
So, Bob, we're still trying to look for a Twins victory that matters. Nothing yet.
It's a little early.
Well, it's a little early, except for the fact, doesn't the season start in like 2 weeks?
Yeah. You know what? Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Bob.
That is going to be a formidable is still too strong a word, but the lineup is going to be damn good.
No,
the pitching, that's the bullpen is going to be damn good, but it's the starting pitching because they lost Sonny Gray, and if they figure that out, they could really be your team to be reckoned with. I think.
Nice mic technique. No. You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about a thing. We're used to it. You've been annoying now for like 37 years.
It has been that long, hasn't it? Yeah.
That you've been annoying. Yeah. Yes, Bob. That's exactly what it is.
Longer than that, actually.
Yeah, you're probably now you're right. It's about 40 years now. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
No question about it. I'm putting up with your crap for that long. Oh, I was very happy to see a story this morning, by the way, and I thought of you immediately as a nice Italian boy from New Jersey. I don't know where it was, but these 3 young guys decided they were going to rob a guy.
Yeah.
They robbed an Italian man.
Didn't go well.
Guess who got their asses kicked? He beat the piss out of all 3 of them.
You don't mess with the Italian man.
No, you don't. It's not a good idea. Have you seen that story? You guys seen?
No.
take a gander, because the picture of the guy looking at this man, I would go, I don't think I'd want to try robbing him.
It's not Bob, right? Like
it was Sansevere. It was Bob Sansevere.
Okay,
That's exactly who it was.
Well, hey,
See,
Bob-
the Italian man has a lot of simmering anger. It's below the surface, but it doesn't take much to bubble up.
Like a nice marinara sauce. It's below the.
It's true.
There's no getting around it.
Take a look at the guys on the Sopranos. Nicest guys you'd ever want to meet until they get pissed off.
Yeah, no, it's a whole different story.
We got a wild definition of nice there.
Yeah.
Sopranos.
Yeah,
Same thing with those Scorsese movies with the Italians.
Yeah, good fellas, there's nice guys. A couple of nice guys.
Tevin and AJ, if there's any way you guys can find a picture of that Italian guy, that you got to see his picture, and if you could possibly put it up on screen, that'd be even better.
Oh, Tom, I'm already picturing him.
First of all, he's got his hair sticks straight up, and it's blonde. Nice Italian boy with blonde hair.
Now, I'm guessing he's not
Southern Italian.
He's not your 6'4" guy, right? He's probably a little fire plug looking.
I would go with that. Fire. I don't know how tall he is, but yeah, I don't know that I'd want to mess with him.
Do you know where it happened?
God, I don't. I do not, and I don't want to suggest someplace either, because I would assume it happened on the East Coast, but I don't know for sure. He was the wrong guy to be attacking. Is all I'm saying.
On the East Coast, the word is out. You don't mess with an eye tie. I'm guessing it was in the South.
Maybe
where
it
they're not
was.
smart enough.
Oh, that's a shot right there.
Perhaps Mississippi, where the GPA is very low.
Well, how negative can you get about the United States of America, including Mississippi?
Well, I'm just repeating the education information.
God, I was trying to think of what network I saw that story on. And it was either on Fox or CNN or both or whatever. It was on one of those. But it's a hell of a story because they show the guy's picture. I think they actually interviewed the guy. He was like, yeah, these guys thought they were going to get something done. It's like, no way.
How many guys, Tom, went after
Three.
him?
Three guys.
That ain't smart.
Yeah, 3 teenagers, and it did not work out well for the teenagers. Or they might have been in their early 20s, something like that. But yeah, if you can't find it, you can't find it. It's not that big a deal. But it's a great story. I love the story.
Well, you don't attack an Italian guy unless you got more guys than you have fingers and toes.
I like it.
21 is the minimum to have a shot.
21 to have a shot against one Italian.
Yeah.
I'll go with that, Bob.
Simmer in anger, Tom. Simmer in anger.
Also, Bob, you're gonna have to find a different punchline for the GPA. Mississippi, third highest GPA.
There you go, baby.
For the state.
For the state. Okay. Then it always has been one of the lowest. You know what? Down in Mississippi, they probably transposed a few numbers because they're not very bright.
I will tell you something. You got to understand something about Mississippi. There are parts of Mississippi that, little country. There's no question. But the Gulf Coast in Mississippi is beautiful, and a lot of very, very smart people live there. It's gorgeous. Biloxi, that whole area, it's beautiful.
I'm trying to think about people I know that come out of Mississippi, other than Archie Manning, who's a great guy.
Archie Manning, that's right. He's out of Mississippi. It all works out in the end. So what's new in your life, Sanny?
What's new in my life? I had to go yesterday because my daughter, even though we got other dogs, she had to have, was whining to have a little, which we used to have a mini Aussie, which she adored. So we got her another mini Aussie. And, it's a cute little thing. She, apparently, though, I checked in on her this morning. She had the blanket and the pillow on the floor next to the little kennel because the dog was howling all night. She wanted until she fell asleep. Yeah. So you know what it's like to get another dog when they're puppies.
Oh, absolutely. No question. I also know some other thing. And this is the first reveal we've ever done publicly. But if you want to see money burning in a pile, get Bob's wife and my wife together to go shopping. Holy Christ, those women can spend money, Bob.
Well, mine will spend it on a horse. And
yeah, that's
yours,
true.
Yours used to.
Yeah, used to. Tell a woman, you know why she stopped riding horses, right?
No.
Because she got injured. She was sitting at a light at Williston and Highway 7. You know where that intersection is? And a woman who decided to put her makeup on and steer with her knees.
Oh, no.
Rear-ended Catherine doing 60 miles an hour. She's putting her makeup on while driving 60 miles an hour.
Oh, that's horrible. She's lucky it wasn't worse. And I told you the one time on 394, the woman not putting makeup on, using one of those little eye things to curl their eyelash.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Steering with her knees on 394 in the speed lane.
Why would you do that? Seriously.
It's beyond me. And, when Mary, because I know you guys have given me crap, or Tom has over the years, about having miniature horses. Did I ever tell you why we got involved with miniature horses? Because Mary broke her neck, and she was told you can't ride horses anymore, so she got minis.
That's right.
And now she rides horses again. Not as recklessly as she once had. But
not like the old days?
No. But I will say this now for people out there who are foolishly thinking of getting a horse. Minis are great and ponies for kids. Because my kids grew up with them, and I won't make this a long tangent, but it is a microcosm of life to go to a horse show, especially like at the national level. My kids would go in a class, win a national title. The next class, they wouldn't even finish in the top 10. So that's life. There's highs, there's lows, and it really did prepare them for life, to know how to deal with it. So I think it was a good thing for my kids. Maybe everyone hasn't felt that way, but it did for us.
If you tell that story again, either on TV or radio, I'd probably enunciate better, because it sounded like you said, we went to a horror show.
Oh, did I say horse?
That also teach you a lot about life.
It probably will, exactly.
Hey, look at Devin. He's weighing in now on something he's got some authoritative opinions on.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cold.
I know some people.
Yeah. We all know people. But hey, if you want a sports nugget, Mattison is gone. He should be gone. He didn't do anything. Didn't even have a touchdown last year, and lost his job to Ty Chandler, who probably won't have the job this year because they'll draft somebody in the mid rounds that they play. And the thing is, though, they say $3.35 million. Is this the start of it? And is Cousins among the next guys that go?
That's a good argument. Yeah, I would not. I'd rather Cousins didn't come back.
He wants. People are saying out there that these so-called experts, $50 million.
For what?
For
He's
one
never
playoff
won anything.
Win. Yeah, one playoff win he has.
$50 million.
Yeah.
I told you I ran into him in Florida at a restaurant once. He's about the size of a stick man.
Oh,
he's got no muscle at all.
He's very lean.
He's very lean.
You want to know who's not a stick man? I found the gentleman that you were talking about. His name is Rocco DiStefano.
That's the guy. That's him.
He is a gym owner in L.A.
Oh, what a mistake.
He was walking his dog, and three guys armed tried to jump him and steal the Rolex that he was wearing. So here's a picture of him and his dog on scene after fighting off the people. I went to his Instagram. This is what's under the sweatshirt.
Whoa!
That's the guy's Rolex.
Okay, you know what? You don't see that in that other photo.
Yeah, if you go back to the first picture, like you see a guy with that hairstyle, with that dog, you go, I can probably kick his ass. And then you see the Hulk that's underneath the sweatshirt. Yeah, you're good luck, buddy. You better need 60.
AJ, that's a brilliant job, because that's the exact thing I was talking about. You attacked this guy. How he kicked the piss out of all three of them. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
And is that Jesus on his shoulder?
Either
that looks like a pharaoh, like some sort of Egyptian thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He can tell me whatever it wants to be. Yeah. And it's a fantastic tattoo.
I have nothing ill to say about his tattoo.
God, it's kind of weird, though, with all four of us, with Tevin and Bob and AJ and me, we have the exact same muscle structure in our stomachs that he does.
Yeah, we all.
Yeah, I was like, who photoshopped my abs onto his?
I thought it actually went onto my Instagram. It was confusing.
He only has, a six-pack.
I'm really happy you found that picture, because now you got the point. It's like, who the hell would attack this guy? Are you nuts?
He said when he turned around after being involved, I guess, right away.
Right.
Three masked men were running up to him. One of them had a gun. He recalled. And then basically there's a video that I'm not able to play here, but he just kind of picked up his dog like a little football and fought. So he was basically one arm against three. He was one armed against three armed guys. So just crazy.
Well, that's like when everybody tried to jump Cam Newton at his football camp, and there's that video of him 6 like guys are trying to beat him up, and he's just not. I'm not going that route.
Well, he had on his sorcerer's hat.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. AJ, brilliant job, man. I'm really happy you found that picture because it's like, why on earth are you stupid enough to attack a guy that looks like that?
Well, the first thing I typed in was Italian man fights off attacker, and it was like some 98-year-old guy in Milan.
Well, that's
of course
good
it
too.
was.
That's good too, man. All right, Sandy, get the hell out of here, you Italian.
All right, we'll see you come Monday.
One question before you go, though. Why
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it that all you Italian guys look exactly the same? Like that guy and you look exactly the same.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about it. You want me to take my shirt off? I'll show you here.
That'd be
All right,
wonderful.
Bob, have a good weekend.
Boy, look at the time. We love to schmooze. All right, Bob, we'll talk to you next week, Pally.
So long.
Thanks. We'll take a break. Be right back. Timmy Lammers joins us right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
Recently, Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC was contacted by a company that does on-site sales. Jim was confused.
Wait, they don't know anything about us, our staff, our reputation, most importantly, our customers.
Hey, pal, no problem. We do them all over the country. You know, get the manager off the roof sale, inflatable gorilla sale, and our favorite, the 13-hour sale with a giant clock that goes to 13. Urgency, baby. We bring our crew because, well, your people are, let's just say, a little laid back.
And the pricing?
Nothing special, sport.
But Jim thought, we price competitively every day. Our prices are special. We definitely don't need these guys. But sale does convey some urgency, so he made a bold decision for his fine dealerships.
Announcing the Valley Buick GMC 365-day sale. And we can even extend it a couple years or so.
I got the air dancer guy, scratch-offs, plastic keys, bubble machine.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Hurry.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take personal care dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back with, I just had to go out and give the missus a kiss. She's hitting the road going to Atlanta. Damn it. She's going to her one of her best friend's son's wedding. So, you know. I don't go to weddings. You guys go to weddings?
I was at one last weekend, but I usually don't go to weddings.
I don't go to weddings or funerals, neither.
I'm at like 2 weddings a week in the summer.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when I'm DJing and working them, yeah. So, but friends haven't had any gone as a guest in a while.
One of the great things, Timmy Lammers, about growing up in North Minneapolis is if you went to a friend's wedding upstairs at Howie's, there was always a fist fight. It was just wonderful.
Luckily, we didn't have that at my wife and I. We didn't have any fights at ours. So
we didn't either. Yeah, we didn't either. It was a magnificent situation, no question about it. But I do remember we got married 1984 on July 7th, 1984. And the number one song right then was played about 6,000 times at the wedding because everybody loved to dance to it. Can you remember what the number one hit was? on July 7th, 1984.
I'm going to guess Celebration by Kool and the Gang.
That's pretty close because it was actually Jack snuck down the hill and waited all day for Jill. You guys remember that song?
No, I was
Jack
just
and Jill, man. Oh, it's one. You got to find it, AJ. You got to find it and play a little. It's phenomenal.
What's it called?
Jack and Jill. What's it called?
Jack and Jill by the Heartbeats, you said?
Not the Heartbeats, no.
By who?
It was, what the hell was his name? He had a bunch of hits. He had a ton of hits, as a matter of fact. He's a solo artist. What the hell was his name again? He was really good.
Is it Ray Parker?
Ray Parker Jr.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what it was. Ray Parker Jr. I'm telling you, when he plays it, you're going to love it. You might want it as your theme song from now on. Why do you think Jack snuck down the hill?
Got a tambourine in it, it looks like. So, yeah,
A tambourine? I don't remember that. Great song, though. AJ, you know how to work the equipment, or what the hell are you doing in there? Let's go.
Yeah, it's
He goes, yeah.
It's trying to play. Oh, hold on. Here we go.
Advertisement.
Play anymore. I love that song too. We played that song at our reception about 50 times because everybody wanted to dance to it and sing along to it. It was a huge hit. Ray Parker Jr. is one hell of a talent, you know.
Who
Is
you
he
going to
even around
call?
anymore?
Who you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
Ray Parker Jr.
Yeah,
Ray
baby.
Parker Jr., baby. So anyway, Timmy, now that we've been entertained by Ray Parker Jr. and Jack and Jill, I still love that song. All these years later, I still love that song. So Timmy, Lammers, by the way, brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyer seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. So Timmy.
Yes, sir.
What's the latest?
Well, I want to see a movie about Rocco with the one fist with the dog beating people.
You saw the picture, did you,
Yes,
Timmy?
I did. Holy God. And you're right. You know, just looking at him, it's like, oh, this guy will push him over. It's like, no, Rocco with one hand, mind you, with the dog. The dog,
With the dog. He beat the piss out of
and
three. Yep.
sleeping while the Rocco was doing this, you know.
It's
Oh, my
true.
God. Oh, how funny.
I just saw that this morning. I just was in love with life again. It's like this guy with one arm beat the piss out of three robbers.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's great stuff. Great stuff. So before I get to talking about Dune 2, did any of you read Frank Herbert's Dune, the novel?
Nope.
And B, did you see the first Dune movie?
Nope. Never had any interest.
Kevin and AJ, no?
Nope.
Neither one of you?
I like it. It was one of those where I was told the same thing as like Avatar, like, oh, this is like the movie. You got to see it. It just, I don't know. I get it. It's Timmy Chandelier out in the desert or whatever. And, you know, he's got a thing in his nose and he's a spaceman. I hear Dune 2 is like actually like an insanely solid movie. So
It is. It is. Here's the whole issue with it. You're right. It has everything in a 2-hour and 36-minute runtime. Tommy's out.
Oh, I'm out.
Way too long.
Kevin's out.
I'm out.
I can truck through that though for a good movie.
Yeah, well, you know, so look, I mean, it's a cast is amazing. Okay, you do have Timothy Chalamet, you have Zendaya, you have Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem. They're all back from the first film. Then you add Austin Butler, who of course played Elvis. You add Christopher Walken. And then you add Florence Pugh, who is really, her career is on fire in Hollywood. And it's like, wow, you have everything you need as far as a cast, and they're great. And then you have the visual effects are just mind blowing. You see it on a massive screen, which I did. It's like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Vistas are breathtaking. The set pieces are breathtaking. But I didn't read that original novel. Okay. I thought I got along pretty well with the first film, but the second one is like, okay, there's this mythology that was created by Frank Herbert and all this sort of stuff. So unless you're really familiar with this, I'd say at the very least, go back and see the original first. Now, I did not, because it's been 2.5 years since that original film. And, you know, that's a long film as well. So I suppose I would have benefited a little bit from that, but no doubt that this movie was made for the fans of that novel and maybe the David Lynch what was it, a miniseries or a movie, whatever he did way back in the 80s. Back in the time when Jack and Jill was the hot song, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right,
There's no
Tommy?
question about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, so I'm kind of mixed with this. I mean, it's really tough to put down a movie that really does have it all, but when you have a narrative that is kind of like, okay, I'm holding on by my fingernails, trying to understand things as they're going along. So yeah, it's, you can't be expected to read the books for every single movie that you see. In fact, any great filmmaker will tell you that those two are separate entities. You really need to keep them separate because, again, I tell you what, I got hate mail because I admitted that I did not read the Harry Potter books. I mean, people were pissed at me.
I didn't read them.
And so yeah, I mean, that's an issue. I mean, but you can't be expected to, again, just because you have to treat them separately, because yes, generally there's just no way of matching those original visions that in the mind's eye or whatever that you get when you're reading those books. But obviously when you take a story like Dune and you spread it out over a 5-hour time period, you're going to be able to get in a lot more. And so that's where I was struggling, was the fact that, okay, I'm not in touch with all these nuances and all these things in the book that they bring out. It's definitely a feast for fans. There's no question about that.
I like it. It's like, you laid it out. Now I might want to watch this. It's your fault.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine anybody going into Dune 2 cold without having seen the first film or not reading the book. I mean, you're just going to be completely lost. So right. you have to ground it in something. And I guess for you, Tom, the best way to do it would be to watch that first film. And again, that first film, I thought really set up things well, but then once you lay out that template, then they get into the deeper parts of things.
Right.
And then it was harder for me to grasp. So again, I stayed awake. It wasn't boring, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it had everything in it to be a successful movie. It's just not having that knowledge of those original, or of that original book, I should say. I think it's quite a long book. I mean, either AJ or Tevin, maybe, I don't know if you can look it up or I can look it up. I think it was a pretty long book. Obviously long enough that we had to split it in two. So yeah.
Yep.
Quickly, Spaceman is on Netflix. Adam Sandler. It is not an Adam Sandler comedy. It's a serious Adam Sandler movie that it's a man confronting his past, which is tragic. He's up in space. He's on this 8-month mission on the edge of the galaxy. He's confronting the unknowns of this space cloud and trying to get particles, and some weird stuff happens up there. He encounters this alien that's the form of a giant spider, which is the voice of Paul Dano, and it works. It's almost like it's that relaxing thing like Hal in 2001: A Space Odyssey, that sort of thing. But I like the fact that Adam Sandler can do serious stuff and is really, really good in this. It's one of those movies that really gets you thinking. Carey Mulligan is in it as well. She's nominated for an Oscar for Maestro. She's terrific. She is his somewhat estranged wife. She's tired of him going on these missions and really putting her second in their life. Space is first for him. So have to do a quick plug. I did interview Adam Sandler and Paul Dano for this film, directconversations.com. I did it for looper.com, but you can get the links to that interview on my website. And I have to point out, I pointed this out to Tom on Tuesday, Adam Sandler is a vintage Minnesota Vikings fan.
I didn't even know that until you told me that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And actually, I found this out 26 years ago. I interviewed him for The Wedding Singer. And, if I tell him from Minnesota, he says, you know what? I grew up loving, because my dad loved the Vikings. I loved the Vikings. Chuck Foreman, Fran Tarkenton, Alan Page, Jim Marshall. I think he mentioned Eller in that first conversation. When I mentioned it again, I wore my Vikings hat during the interview. He brought them all up again, with the exception of Carl. You know, we're short on time. We had so much to squeeze into 5 minutes. Him and Paul Dano and me. And then Paul Dano, Nice Polonaise. Is that closed or not?
I think they reopened it. They closed it up, but I think it's been reopened as a just nice bar, I think.
Yeah. It's been like shrunk into not the original thing, which is a bummer. But
I used to love going into Nice Polonaise, man. It was really, really great.
When I interviewed Paul Dano in 2012 or 2014 for a movie he did called Ruby Sparks, he was in Minneapolis, and I reminded him of that during our interview with Sandler, and he said, I went to Nice Polonaise. He's kept up with it. He said, yeah, I heard it closed down. And I said, yeah. And he said that was one of the greatest bars in America that I'd ever been to.
Yeah.
So it was fun getting some Minnesota stuff from those guys. But Spaceman, it's an esoteric sort of thing. I think a lot easier to understand, even though it's pretty deep stuff. Than your Dune 2. Again, not having that knowledge of Dune going in is tough. That's for sure.
You just reminded me of a couple of coworkers. If you wanted a nice Polonaise, you would see Patrick Royce in there, and if you went to the Lexington, you'd see our buddy over at Garage Logic, Joe Souchere. He was every time I went in there, he was there.
Really?
It was wonderful.
Well, I haven't drunken anything for more than 30 years, so I've never been there, and you know, obviously I live outside the Twin Cities anyway. I don't even know where it's at. Where is it? Where was it located, or where's
the Lexington?
Is it Nice Polonaise? Where's the bar located?
It's right down the street from like kitty corner from Kamarchuk's. Northeast.
There's Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church is right behind it. You know where that is? It's on Hennepin and
Surdix is right there.
Hennepin and University, about a block west of Hennepin and University.
Okay,
that's about right.
Okay, so people
kind of by
go
Surdix.
Drunk and wreck stuff, and then go confess their sins at the church.
That's exactly right. That's exactly it.
All righty. Well, I got to get out of here. I know Kristen's up next, but Ordinary Angels from last week. If you haven't had a chance to see that again, Tommy, I texted you about it. You must see it. Alan Ritchson, Hilary Swank.
Phenomenal
movie as well. So,
all right, young man, we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Lammers, sponsored by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers. Right back with Kristen Burt. March means it's springtime, and that means spring cleaning, and your carpets and air ducts are the first item on my list. Your carpet and ducts are your biggest air filters in your home, and you could be breathing in nasty dust, dander, and bacteria. Zero Res's platinum-rated cleaning systems and environmentally friendly ZR water to the rescue with these limited-time offers. 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $129 off $40 savings, $75 off air duct cleaning, and 20% off all upholstery cleaning. Zero Res has over 17,000 reviews with an average 4.9 star rating, so their Gotta Love It guarantee ensures your spring cleaning will leave your home looking and smelling how it should. Call 952-ZEROREZ or visit ZeroResMinnesota.com to schedule your spring cleaning offer today, and be sure to ask for the Tom Barnard special. Zero Res. Spell it forward or backward, it spells the same. Schedule your appointment today and beat the spring cleaning rush.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
The new Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw and Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Show. Visit tombernardshow.com, keyword partner. You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chris and Burt, Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I got to ask you guys a question, because I posted that thing. I talked about this earlier, that this guy snuck across the border with 170 pounds of meth, cocaine, and fentanyl. Mm-hmm. And I said, basically, Kristen, that I would have to carry my brother Terry across the border because he weighs about 170 pounds. How do you sneak 170 pounds of drugs over the border?
I don't know. I think you do it.
I don't know.
Nobody's looking. I don't know.
My grandmother smuggled in jewels.
She did?
I just found this out. So my grandparents lived in Egypt for a year, 66 to 67. This is a long time ago. My grandfather was a Fulbright fellow, and so he was doing some archaeologist type of research and that type of thing. And they were escorted out by the American embassy because of the war in 1967 that broke out there. Yeah. And they were told to leave everything and we'll ship everything to you. Don't worry. But they really had to scramble and just pack their personal belongings. And they really couldn't take a lot of things with them. And they knew that they weren't going to be able to take. My grandmother had gotten these beautiful amethyst stones for everybody, that she was going to, give to I wasn't born, but to my mom and the aunts, the uncles, the brothers, sisters, whatever. And I just found out from my uncle that she smuggled them in her lady parts into the country.
The nether region?
Yes.
Story.
Yes. And I have a ring made out of this. So I'm like, oh my God, it is my vagina ring.
Well,
sorry to be so
good.
crude at this hour of the morning, but I just learned, and I'm like, why didn't I hear this family story? Because this is insane.
Yeah.
And she had rings made out of these amethysts for everybody, and I wear it all the time. And now all I can think about is that my grandmother smuggled it in her lady parts.
Hey, she'll always be with you then.
Yeah.
She will always be with
Are you implying that this guy shoved all 170 pounds of drugs up his butt?
You never know. People swallow the craziest things.
You
never know.
I got to ask you guys.
I know that they do use. I'm not 170 pounds, but obviously we know that
balloons
swallow balloons of condoms. Yeah,
170 pounds worth. That's a lot of swallowing.
That's not. But I'm saying they will do it.
Yeah, they have very sophisticated ways, whether it's human smuggling or tunnels that are dug or drones they'll fly over, boats, whatever, that they get the drugs across one way or another.
Yeah.
They do somehow. I got to ask you guys a question, because during our conversation, there were a couple of postings on my Tom Barnard Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Charlie Anderson, don't tell me he had it where the sun don't shine, which you were talking about. Same situation. So Charlie Anderson agrees with you. And then right under that, a guy named Matt Carlson posted, "This is a bot account." The hell does that mean?
Either he's talking about the where the sun don't shine guy is a bot account, or the thing you posted was a bot account, clickbait
story,
fake news. Yeah.
It was not fake news. It was on the national news last night.
That's just what that guy was referring to. Is a bot account.
Get off my page then.
Yeah.
Everybody else is nice.
Call him a bot account.
Yeah, you're a bot account. No, you.
Fight over bots, over Russian bots spreading fake news across American social media.
Well, it was on the national news this morning, so I know it wasn't a bot account. So in any case, I got to ask you a question. Have you guys heard of a show called Tracker?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you have? You ever watched it?
Yeah, Tracker premiered after the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. And what's the guy who stars in it's really good.
Justin Hartley.
Justin Hartley, exactly. Tevin, have you seen it?
I have not, but it's been one of those where I've come very close to clicking on, but then I started watching Shogun.
Really good. Oh, you watched Shogun. Is that good?
Yes.
Shogun's amazing.
Okay.
I watched the second one and I'm hooked.
Well, I got to wait until Catherine gets back. She's in Atlanta, so she won't be back till Sunday night. Maybe we'll watch it Sunday night. That'd be good. That's the one thing I don't even like watching TV without Catherine. Isn't that weird?
That's sweet.
Sweet.
No, it's kind of weird.
Too weird. It's just weird. That's it. Yeah. No question about it.
Well, what will you do like tonight and Saturday night without
Mope.
Catherine?
I'll mope. A lot of moping.
Or you won't like watch a movie?
Tearing up.
or
You know.
You're going to cry into your Cheerios.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. There's no question about it. She got finally after the fifth time I kissed her goodbye. She said, "Okay, I got to go." It's like, yes, dear.
That's nice, though.
I hate it when
You're
she's gone.
sweet for your lady. We like that.
I adore that woman. You know that. There's no doubt about it. Just like your husband adores you, Kristen. I'm sure it's the same setup.
Does. Except
He
he thinks I'm a
does
pain in the
adore
butt,
me.
too, at the same time.
Well, there is that. That's true.
It's legit.
But yeah, Tracker. I saw the first one last night. The first time that we had watched it, it was terrific. Really, really a good show.
Did you watch him in This Is Us?
I watch This Is Us. What was that about again?
That's the one about the family that has the twins.
I don't think I did.
They have the triplets, actually, and then they lose one of the triplets, and then they adopt one, and then they raise them as triplets, even though one of them is there's two white babies and one black baby.
Why would you do that? I'm not talking about the white baby, black baby thing, but the kid died. Why do you have to replace the kid? I mean, it makes me sad. It really does. Like, good for the kid they adopted because they have a good home now. That's not what I mean. I don't know if I could get over the sadness that quickly. Or maybe that does help them. Maybe it helps.
I mean, it was a family drama. There was a lot of sadness in it.
Yeah, it's probably one of the saddest movies on TV.
Well, great.
TV
Thanks
shows,
for the
yeah.
recommendation. Tom, watch this. It's really sad and Catherine's out of town. Yeah, great.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't be able to get through it anyway. I mean, it's like 6 or 7 seasons anyway.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of great acting in it. Justin Hartley's in it. Sterling K. Brown's in it, which really was, I feel like, his breakthrough role. Mandy Moore, kind of her coming back to after being married to a really lousy person and then coming back to Hollywood.
Who is she married to?
Mandy Moore used to be married to Ryan Adams. And he's a musician, not Brian Adams, but Ryan Adams.
Ryan
so just to
Adams,
be
yeah.
clear for people, and 2 different people. But he really kind of like, she married him very young in her early 20s, and he kind of just like squashed her voice, squashed her self-esteem, was very mentally and verbally abusive to her. And it's been documented because other women came forward like after he had divorced Mandy Moore. And he had overlapped with a lot of women during his Mandy Moore marriage too, I should say. But they had all experienced similar type of things at Mandy Moore. And New York Times did a huge deep dive article, I want to say now maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. Very traumatic to read their account.
It seems like it, yeah. So This Is Us. Should I give it a whirl? What was that, about 10 years old, something like that?
It probably started about 10 years ago, I
Yeah.
want to say, maybe 8 years ago.
Something like that. Should I watch it?
It's a good show. It is sad at times, though. So
Kind of like this show. Very sad at times.
very sad at times. You
No
yell at me all the
question.
time for bringing sad stories.
We have no time for any of that. But yeah, I got to be honest with you again. A lot of people complain this, that, and the other thing. I think television programming is the best it's ever been. No
Yeah, there's a
question.
ton to watch. And
Yep.
the library is accessible. That's the other thing.
Yep.
Like, I enjoyed the fact that if I miss something the first time around, like, you can go back. If you miss The Sopranos, you can go back and watch The
Yep,
Sopranos.
I did.
Yeah.
I went back and watched The Sopranos. I went back and watched all kinds of shows. But Tracker, we watched it last night. The guy everybody in it's very solid. I like that.
Yeah, and I think it's totally on point for a CBS show. It fits right into their
Yeah.
genre of shows.
Is it true? I could not get this out of my head, and it's your fault, Kristen Burt, that Paramount might be purchased by Peacock.
Peacock, they may be merging.
I never, ever, ever thought that would happen.
Paramount needs something to survive. So that's why they're courting all of these suitors. You know, everything from Skydance Films has looked at them. We know that Warner Brothers has looked at them. So there was a possible merge with HBO. Byron Allen, of course, who's in the mix for everything, has
Right.
looked. And it's only a matter of time. Once they find a deal that's going to work for them, it's going to happen. So there will be, and I don't know if you have 2 streamers coming together, what do you call them? paracock.
Oh yeah, paracock. That's
clip that out.
Yeah, P Mountain.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know.
It's really nice. All you kids listening, Aunt Kristen
This was a
came
family show.
You know.
Just off the rails today with Chris.
It really is. I'm gonna blame Marguerite Burt, who was my grandmother, who, let me tell you, was a hoot, and she would have given all of us a run for her money, but she is somewhere in heaven having a Manhattan and a cigarette with Johnny Carson, because that was her favorite person in the world.
There you go.
Yep.
No, I picture my mother. My mother was not a big drinker, but she could smoke with the best of them, man. Cup of coffee and a cigarette, baby. Let's
Yeah.
go.
She's playing cards with Johnny Carson, and they're smoking and drinking. That's what they're
love
doing
Johnny
right now.
Carson. Johnny Carson was the best of all time. No doubt about it.
She used to babysit me and like have me stay up like through Johnny Carson, and then would put me to bed. And by the way, the late shows way back in the day were an hour and a half. So I wasn't going to bed at like 12:30. I was going to bed at 1.
Oh
Mom would be
my God.
Why is she so tired? She's been watching Johnny Carson all night and playing cards with her grandmother. And I'm talking about like I was like 3. I wasn't like 10.
Oh. That all works out in the end. All right. Any closing comments?
Any closing comments? Just a couple things that came up this week. Beef is going to get a second season. Jake Gyllenhaal and Anne Hathaway are supposedly going to be cast.
Okay.
Kind of interesting for a season 2. It'll be a brand new story for anyone who watched season 1. And the other big news I'm super excited about is that Ryan Gosling will be singing I'm Just Ken live at the Oscars.
Is that a good thing?
That is a good thing, because it's
Okay.
probably going to be the only 5 minutes you're going to want to watch of the Oscars, in my opinion.
Well, except for Naiad. I want to watch. Naiad is up for an Oscar, isn't it?
It's not going to win. I'm
No?
going to tell you right now, nobody from Naiad's going to win. Their win is the nomination. Because we're at the point now, we've had so many award shows, it's pretty clear who the winners are likely going to be.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah. But seeing Ryan Gosling sing I'm Just Ken and dance around that Dolby stage, to me, is going to be a viral moment. It's probably going to be the most tweeted moment. That's my guess.
We'll give it a whirl, sister.
All righty.
And we'll talk to you on Monday.
Yes. Have a great weekend, everyone.
You too. Thank you, Kristen Burt. Kristen Burt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Closing comments. Is this show a bot show? I want to know up front.
We've fooled everybody. This is a bot show.
Bot
It's
show.
completely AI generated. Yes,
that's all right.
Some people.
That's like the go-to when somebody doesn't agree with an opinion or something about.
Oh, really?
It's a bot.
It's a bot.
Fake news.
That's a
Yeah.
bot.
And the bots are great.
Why would you bot a story that was on national television? That makes no sense.
People don't think things through when they
No.
comment on the internet.
I suppose
Unfortunately,
that's true. I'm getting used to that again. I haven't seen that in 12 years, so I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to get used to that again, I guess. I imagine that's probably true. All right, fellas, we will talk to you on Monday. The family show's up in about 10 minutes.
Yep. Have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you.